Welcome back, tribe. I have an interesting article here. The rise of 30-something women who have never had a boyfriend. So this is the extreme end of what we're dealing with called situationships. It's gotten to the point where people are so comfortable just getting essentially pumped and dumped that they never actually make it into a real relationship. At the age of 34, Sarah Bruton ticked off many of life's aspirational milestones. Her 20s were spent building her career as a successful social media editor in fun and fast-paced Dubai, where she lived in a chic studio flat. Then came a year further away in Thailand, immersing herself in Southeast Asian culture. Anybody that's ever been to Dubai, by the way, will tell you that that's the worst place to date. It's a millionaire's playground. Guys are not settling for shit. They're going there for their money to build up their businesses. And you get first-rate prostitutes all over Dubai, I'm telling you. The best of the world basically goes there. The women have the hardest time to lock a guy down in Dubai. It's next to impossible. Any woman that lives there will tell you it's probably worse than LA, worse than London, worse than all the premier cities in the world, because the type of people that tend to gather there have money, have options, have no need to settle down. Having returned to the UK 5 years ago, she now runs a successful business as a financial coach, owns her own 2-bedroom apartment in Hertfordshire. When it comes to Sarah's personal life, however, a few notable boxes remain unchecked. That she's single and hasn't had children may not seem particularly surprising, considering women increasingly delay motherhood and marriage is on the decline. But what about the fact that she never had a boyfriend? I feel awkward to admit I've never been in a relationship, says Sarah. So this is the pump and dump right here. Take a good look. Post-wall pump and dump, but she managed to have a successful life according to her because she has a 2-bedroom apartment of all things, not even a house, and that she built up her business. Great. That sounds so fulfilling. Oh, Jesus Christ. And I've certainly never experienced the giddy emotions that come with being in love, emotionally damaged. But it's not that I don't want a relationship. I've always hoped to find my forever person, bought into the Disney thing, in my 30s, and it just hasn't happened for me yet. She puts this down to the wearying world of modern dating. Not my actions. It's modern dating's fault. Whereas in the past, boy would meet girl, they'll fall in a relationship, and if successful, marriage and children would inevitably follow. These days, well, it's complicated. Not only has the rise of online dating led to more men keeping their options open, but it now seems that there are several stages before reaching a meaningful commitment. Young women and men will typically describe themselves as just seeing each other, and often other people too, rather than the more formal sounding dating. You have a new term, situationship, I told you, which means you've been going on dates for a while and are having fun, but are not discussing being in a relationship. You're getting pumped and dumped, explains Denny Smith, who owns a number of dating apps and websites. At this stage, there's an assumption that both parties are free to date other people. Oh my God. In other words, there's no commitment. Denny admits that online dating has introduced a paradox of choice. Dude, am I sounding the alarm on just absolutely nothing or what? How long have we been saying that this is the issue? I'm glad Daily Mail and mainstream is now starting to pick up the issue. About time, when marriage rates have plummeted 6 and 22% amongst 21 and 25-year-olds? Holy crap. Where many options can make it harder to make decisions and commit to one person. Greed. A situationship may or may not progress to being exclusive, meaning you've both agreed that you'll stop seeing other people. Wow. Imagine being a young person reading this and you have to quote exclusive and tell them that means not seeing other people. Do you understand? This is what exclusivity means. Many young people will be seeing each other for weeks, if not months, before they decide to be exclusive. However, being exclusive, does that mean that you're officially boyfriend and girlfriend, or even that you're in a relationship? Being in a relationship suggests a more advanced stage of commitment and emotional involvement than exclusivity alone. However, it can take many months for today's young daters to get to this stage. Imagine pumping and dumping a chick for months. She doesn't have commitment from you, and you're just playing the field, bro. What a fucking W the gynocracy has been. Here we fucking go, dude. Christ. As such, it's no surprise many young women these days report that they have never had an actual boyfriend. Sarah has only ever reached the situationship stage. Oh, poor Sarah. There was one guy I dated for a couple of months while I was living in Dubai. Wow, her longest situationship was a couple of months getting pumped and dumped. I felt very fond of him. So it was a gut punch to see him in a fancy restaurant with another woman. But technically, I couldn't be angry because there had been no talk of going exclusive. I couldn't expect fidelity from him. That said, even though he was clearly seeing other women, I still went out with him again, bro.
Bruh.
What did I fucking tell you?
Bruh.
You see what I mean? It's the dating culture's the problem. I'm not the problem. I don't make the mistakes. I saw the guy I'm sleeping with, another woman, in the restaurant he took me out to. That's okay. I can't expect anything from him. I'll just go on another date because I got wet seeing him with another woman by competition. So I'm gonna show him how memorable I am by jumping on his D up and down. You fucking idiots.
Emotional.
Shit for brains. All of them. Sarah says she often finds herself in situationships. Sarah. Rather than relationships. Because even though guys make it clear to me that they aren't interested in a long-term commitment, I think I can change their mind. You fucking moron. She adds, there was another chap I dated on and off. Even then I knew it wasn't gonna lead anywhere. I don't want to say I wasted my time, but I spent a lot of energy on men who weren't invested in me, and it dented my confidence. This drawn-out dating process, the rise of working from home, and the looks-based dating app culture all mean that even if you have good sex in your life, in your 20s and 30s, the odds of securing a successful relationship have diminished. A recent survey found that 1 in 5 people aged 50 to 64 meet their partner by chance while out and about. But for Gen Z and millennials, only 1 in 20 people in their 20s met their partner at a bar or elsewhere by chance. While 22% of people aged 50 to 64 met their future partner at work, a similar percentage, 25 to 34-year-olds, meet their partner online. And then, of course, there are those who have had no partners at all, online or otherwise. Denny Smith believes this is partly due to the hard-won online dating experience. Women like Sarah have become so well versed in the downsides of dating apps that they are understandably wary of men. That's not what's happening here. At the same time, they've been taught the importance of not settling. There you go. There you go. See, now we're getting to the crux of the issue. They've been taught the importance of not settling, that you should be getting pumped and dumped. You should be playing the game like a man. You should be chasing a career first. You shouldn't be building a family. You shouldn't be doing any of the things you should be as a woman. Be a man. And then you get male results. The trap that many fall into assuming there will always be someone better. Paradox of choice. But this can mean you're forever dating and avoiding the deeper, more meaningful stages of relationship. No shit, because you're taught to not settle. Sarah says she spent her teens and early 20s casually getting pumped and dumped. It was only after she returned to the UK to set up her business at the age of 29 that she started looking for a relationship. That boat fucking sailed, baby girl. Yes, indeedy. I've been on dating apps on and off for the past decade, she says. There was one person I did speak to and liked the sound of, but then the pandemic happened. Like many other single women, I spent 3 years with my dating life on hold. I've stayed in situationships, pumped and dumps, longer than I should, with men who came in and out of my life, not speaking to me for months.
Emotional damage.
This is all they're good for. You see what I'm saying? It can be a bit soul destroying, and it's not great for my mental health. You see? Look, man, this article is gold. I've had days when I've looked at friends around me who are married or in long-term relationships and thought, why can't it be that easy for me too?
Stop the cap.
Perfect. This is good. My parents married almost 40 years ago after meeting at the age of 18. Can we go back to the traditional ways? This boss babe shit, it just can't. What the fuck? I was a bridesmaid to my younger sister. That hurts. I was the only single person at her wedding. This made me feel like an outcast with an unspoken question on everybody's lips. How are you still single? Damn. Despite her pangs of loneliness and ticking biological clock. Oh my God. Sarah says she tries to focus on the fact that she has a great life. That's how we're coping, bro. What the? So great. And meanwhile, still plugging away determinedly at the dating scene. Anna McPaul, 33, is a dental nurse. This is Anna McPaul right up here. Look at this dental nurse, dude. Anna, what's your problem? Let's see. Dental nurse from South London is another 30-something who has never had a serious relationship. I go through times feeling very lonely and ask myself, what is wrong with me?
Oh, hell no.
I've invested so much time and effort in matching and then talking to potential boyfriends online.
Bruh.
Only to be ghosted, to be friend zoned, to receive explicit pictures. The whole experience just makes me feel bad about myself. Fuck, you have a great life, eh? Anna, whose parents are happily married, was 17 when she went on her first date. It was quite obvious we were never gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend, she says. It was me who built up the courage to say it couldn't lead to a relationship. Fuck, these are depressing, eh? Women, you asked for it. Since then, I have been on dates with 8 men, but it's never led to anything serious. There is real stigma to never having been in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship by the time you're 30, then there must be something you aren't doing right. But I've done all the supposedly right things. The programming, it didn't work. I followed it to a T. I'm a strong boss babe. I sacrificed everything so I could pay my taxes and be a slave cuck at a corporation. Why can't I have a family? Ooh, even just talking about it makes me want to cry.
Emotional damage.
A real low point for me came last Christmas when I brooded over the fact that all my friends have found someone. I'm forever alone.
Bruh.
That's when I did worry about what was wrong with me. I like to experience being loved, to be held in someone's arms and told I love you, Disney.
Bruh.
I've never experienced that head over heels feeling with anybody. Oh God, Anna. Anna's friends have suggested that rather than moaning and complaining, there's just no love from other women. The sisterhood standing strong about her love life. She should apply the quantity over quality approach to dating. Going on date after date to increase the probability of meeting the one.
Bruh.
What a fuck. Her friends are retarded. My mom thinks I'm too fussy, Anna adds. She likes to tell me about her experience of being approached by men on the train, in a bar, or even while walking down the street. Hey mom, that time's changed. They're too strong and independent today. They don't need a man. What do you fucking think catcalling me? Oh my God, I'm pressing charges. Mom, your days are gone. I have to tell her that it just doesn't happen that way today. And that's exactly what your kind asked for. Anna isn't alone among young women struggling, or indeed being unwilling to engage with men IRL. These days, many young women admit that if they spotted someone they fancied in a bar, the idea of approaching them would seem desperate rather than serendipitous. They would be more likely to check their dating app to see whether the man happened to show up there. Possible because so many of the apps work in a geographical basis than actually speak to him. As to how they would feel about a stranger approaching them to offer to buy them a drink, sadly, they would probably be repelled by such an overture, finding it an imposition or weird, especially if they were out with friends at the time and so not considering themselves to be in a dating space. You see the problem. Even organic cold approach on these kinds of women doesn't work because they need to be in a dating space. How the fuck are you supposed to organically meet someone at a bar, your Disney fantasy, just bumped into you in a grocery store, when you're not in your dating space? You fucking idiot. Yet relying on meeting people through dating apps can lead to its own problems. This is sad to admit, but I've never been physically attracted to any of the men who have asked me out. I agree to go on a date because I can't complain about being single and then not go on dates when people ask me out. Lady, you got problems. But I couldn't look at them and say, hand on heart, I'd love you to be my boyfriend. So you're just alone and you're okay with getting pumped and dumped, wined and dined, getting a free meal. And then maybe the guy hits, maybe he doesn't. And you're cool with that because that's better than sharing your pillow by yourself. Denny Smith, who runs some shit dating website, warns that today's dating landscape means younger women are more prepared to let bad behavior and lack of commitment slide. Oh, it's men's fault. Oh my God, you mean you have no standards for yourself, you don't set any boundaries, and you don't demand commitment from men before they hit. And so it's a man's fault that that's happening. Wow. Older women, however, had a clear understanding of what they want in a relationship. That might make them more selective in their choices, she says. Yeah, and this shit would end overnight if women actually started being selective and stopped giving it around like professional hookers. This could lead to them being perceived as fussy, but it's often just that they know what they want and aren't prepared to take any rubbish. Oh, it's the strong boss babe vibes. Ask makeup artist Diana this is Diana, another 30-something, single. For a description of her ideal man, she kinda has rather traditional response. A gentleman who will make me laugh and is kind-hearted. Dana, 32, lives with her parents in Surrey. Red flag number 1. While her elder sister met her husband aged 18, Diana never had a boyfriend. She dated one man for 6 months, but still a relationship didn't materialize. My mom has tried to find me a man. Your mommy? You're a grown-ass woman. When she used to commute to London, she'd tell me about eligible bachelors on her train. Then there was a guy in her church choir she thought would be perfect for me. He wasn't. The trouble is that neither my mom nor my sister has ever been single. Mom met my dad when she was in her teens. She never experienced the brutalities of single life like I have. Aren't you supposed to be strong and independent? Diana spent her 20s working on cruise ships. You use the best time of your life to work on cruise ships and traveling to far-flung locations such as the Caribbean, where dating was off the agenda and work hard, play hard was the motto of the crew. Pay attention. Work hard, play hard. You were getting pumped and dumped on cruise ships throughout your 20s, sleeping with God knows how many exotic men, having the time of your life. And when it comes time to settle, it's a fucking minefield out here. Oh man, 32, past the wall. When she returned to London in her late 20s after being internationally pumped and dumped, she worked at the manager of a high-end spa in London, a bullshit job, while you live with your mommy. It was then that she joined the usual apps. I need to find someone to settle down with. Let me pop up a Tinder and get me a beta bob. And she got something of a surprise. Guys were extremely upfront about being interested only in one night stands, she says. Oh my God, I opened up a dating app, a hookup app, and then these guys just want to hook up with me. You mean Prince Charming isn't on Tinder? I was contacted by so many married men who wanted an affair, but I'm not the kind of person who wants to be involved with married men. I'm sure you weren't when you were in your 20s on your cruise ships. One charmer told me I was fat and ugly, but that he'd be happy to hook up with.
Bruh.
Oh my God. I was astounded he thought that would make me want to sleep with him. I blocked him and deleted the app. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. Oh man. Gold, dude. This is gold. Diana freely admits she was a late developer, losing her virginity at 19 to a friend. And says despite going on dates over the past 15 years, nothing has progressed. I'm not shy, she says, red flag. I'm happy to flirt, red flag, if I think there could be chemistry between us, red fucking flags. I like to think I'm open-minded, red flag, and I usually agree to date a man just because he asks, red fucking flags, dude. I take the approach, who knows what could happen? I might fall madly in love on his pipe. The trouble is, I invariably discover we're not compatible after he pumps and dumps me. Diana says the fact that she doesn't want to have children removes a degree of pressure and credits her parents and married sister who's 35 for ensuring I'm never on my own. Oh, the charity case. As for how her parents got together, they met in the pub where her mother worked. Dad asked her out several times, says Diana. His charm won her over in the end. She's not alone in wishing modern dating was simple. It's so hard to meet men in bars or pubs now. I'd bring back social dances. The genuine single men could approach me and ask me to dance, wouldn't they? It's all too complex these days. What a beautiful compilation of Forever Alone 30 post-wall pump and dumps. I love it. This is the ramifications of what you voted for. These are the consequences of what you wanted. Deal with it. See you boys on the next one. Hope you enjoyed it.